Innovation is really the core of capitalism. Your competitor may have another product, and you may open up your store physically right next to them and just have a little twist to it. And people love the twist, and all of a sudden you have this over here, and the owner was sitting there looking in their eyes. They have no idea. I was doing really good, and all of a sudden that twist is what the customers want. The other day, we went out and we're looking for gelato. So we went to a store that sold gelato, and then down literally in the next block of stores was a store that had a line. We went to have some shaved ice. We spent 72 minutes in line to get it. I have to tell you, it really was not even close to being as good in my mind as the store, the product I really wanted originally. It was just that the sizzle was there. I liked the sizzle. I wanted to go to experience it, and I did. I'm going to go back to my old store that I was going to before because that's what I really want. But I had to experiment the sizzle. Sometimes that thing, that sizzle, that innovation is a big deal, and you want to be the one to keep the sizzle. But when you get that sizzle, grab that customer and keep them from going to try somebody else out in the process. If you have a product, if you have a service that sizzles, that sits down there and satisfies the needs of your clients, your customers in the process, then you're going to have a hot item, and your supply chain's just going to be a byproduct of the great success of your product or your service overall. Sometimes we look on the aspect of product innovation. There's fundamental and really it is dramatic to the operation strategy, and is referred to as technology or product clock speed. How fast can you get it to them in the process? Functional products are characterized by slow innovation speed. I mean, seriously, you're going to buy celery for your grocery store. How much innovation can you get out of your celery? You get new packaging. Yes, you can sit down there, clean and polish your celery if you wanted to in the process, or you can make more money and promise customers a better salary. Did you get that better salary? Okay, the jokes will grow on you in a little bit, but the reality is there's some products that are really they're slow on innovation speed because they're low profit margins. There's low product variety. That might be the clue, though, to your salary thing, because maybe there's different brands of celery. You might carry 2 or 3 brands of celery, depending upon your customers. If you sell carrots, carrots are these orange vegetables you pull out of the ground. But wait, there's other colored carrots. So maybe you sell green carrots. Maybe you have the orange carrot, a yellow carrot. Yes, they're out there. Go find different carrots and then satisfy that niche of your customers because you are the one that people go to find carrots. Toss in a couple diamonds on top of it and life will be good. Product innovation is always a really good thing, but you have to pay attention to this whole aspect over here. I included the chart over here, and it really is the aspect of what it is in product innovation, and you're looking at the product life cycle. You have the introduction group, and it depends if this were a perfect bell-shaped curve. Usually a bell-shaped curve is shaped just like a bell. This one is not because this is more representative of a true product life cycle. Normally the two ends of a bell-shaped curve are about 4.5%. That leaves 92% cut up between the two center sections of 48% and 48%. So you're looking in the process out there, you're looking at the aspect of the growth stage. Between all of them, the growth stage is the most profitable one, but you want to try to capture people on the early cutting edge at an innovation stage. You'll see on the chart here, it's pretty accurate. There's not many people there that want to try something firsthand. But those people that do, the crazy ones that get a sleeping bag and they go sleep in front of their favorite store because that product's going to come out and I want to be one of the first ones out there. We make fun of them behind their backs. They don't really know that. But that said, every time we sit down and pay attention to, okay, if they're buying technology, every time that you want to have technology, you call them up because you know they've read it all, they're experts on it. You want to tap into those innovators, that first 4.5% that buy expensive stuff that gets cheaper by the time it hits the growth stage. You pay attention to them because their opinion matters. We call them influencers. You want to gather those influencers in that market niche over there because you sit down, you're going to tap their knowledge base. you want to capture them really in the aspect of selling to them, because if they say good things about you, their word will hit 4 or 5 people. Those 4 or 5 will say, I heard it from so and so, or they'll take credit for it in the process. So their simple influence they provide is huge. Then you have the growth stage maturity. Sometimes you sell things like carrots. There is no product life cycle because it's a carrot. Okay. But if it's new technology, you try all kinds of things, use their freemium product model. If you want more information about the different business models, take the class, Entrepreneurship 211, which we deal with business models regardless in the process, or watch my YouTube videos on it. But that said, pay attention to where the service or the product is on the product life cycle. If it's really in that third stage, that maturity stage over there, then you're going to pay attention to the aspect. It probably is one of those slow moving aspects where it's fundamentally different because it's slow innovation and the slow speed. It just depends where it's at. Pay attention to the functional versus the innovative. The functional items are slow. There's very little innovation to them. Celery and carrots will always be functional items because, but you can always dress them up because they sell carrots and celery in high-end food stores and low-end food stores. It just depends how they're presented, how polished they are. So in the product life cycle, it's really long because celery's been around a long time, for hundreds, thousands of years by the time you're all done figuring out when it was first grown. The forecast accuracy, you know what? I sell X number of boxes of celery every month, and I'm going to probably sell the same amount next month, and maybe the same amount, and maybe in the summertime, or maybe right around the aspect of September, October, I'll sell more because people go on a diet. Yeah. So the forecast accuracy is pretty high. On the innovative one, by the time somebody comes out with a new technology, they have no idea how it's going to sell. So the forecasting accuracy is really low because they simply don't know because it's brand new. Obsolescence. So pay attention to the chart as to, is it functional or is it an innovative product or service? So more on functional versus innovative. It's possible for a product to start as an innovative product and later shift on the product life cycle. We saw something bizarre happen with electric vehicles. It started out to be the darling of all the markets. Electric vehicles, finally, yes, we can get rid of all these fossil fuel vehicles. We too can have a sustainable vehicle driving down the road. That's really nice. And all of a sudden, we saw a market hit and people hit, and we saw the change happen when Tesla dropped its product prices 20 to 25% on almost all of its vehicles. And all of a sudden, the big shooters are out there to make that money off that innovative aspect of it. And all of a sudden, Tesla cut the price. And all of a sudden, out of the 7 giant companies that were out there, now 3 or 4 of them are struggling. 2 of them are going to probably go under. 1 already has. So we're seeing a change already in market because of the fact that it really is no longer as innovative as it used to be. When Teslas first started coming out, then so it's been about 15 years at the time of this recording. When it first came out, it was truly innovative, and now it's moving up, and now it's becoming more functional versus an innovative product. You'll see that happening on a lot of different things. Electric vehicles are still innovative. We're looking at a next generation of batteries coming on. We're going to look at autonomous vehicles. Those will be tied into the technology of the EVs. But that being said, we'll see what happens in the days to come because their innovation isn't close to being done. A lot of products offered in different forms, either functional or innovative. So functional, innovative designs are 2 extreme product characteristics on the spectrum, and it really spans different degrees of technology generally. A lot of products come in a large variety of options, styles, colors, and shapes. You too can sit down and buy something that was traditional and then put a couple pizzazzy things on it, and all of a sudden it becomes really valuable. One of the strange things coming out in microtechnology, actually nanotechnology, is coatings for cars. You too, in the next 10 years, will be able to sit down and buy a car that'll have the ability to add stripes on it with the turn of a dial. Literally, you can have racing stripes on the hood of your car or the back of your car and the roof just by putting a dial, because they already have experimental items on it. You can change the color of your wheels as well just by pushing the button. Those days are coming because of this surfacing material they put. You can actually change the colors based upon a low voltage current going through the actual paint itself. we'll be seeing stuff like that. We're gonna have, this is a standard thing all the time, and all of a sudden, boom, you put that teeny tiny innovation and people love it. We're going to look at different configurations. We're going to have a lot of proliferations of some of the functional items. So we'll see a lot of different things happening with variety in the days to come, especially with the advent of artificial intelligence. Some sites offer a variety of products, others specialize only in a specific line of products. It depends what you want. You want to look really on this thing of long tail phenomena. I encourage you to pay attention to it. It is a business model. And believe it or not, over 44% of all the Amazon sales come from what we call long tail. What they are, it's a matter of finding the teeny tiny little niche market that almost everybody ignores. It could be that you want to have a pot that looks like a musical note or a music clef. Where are we going to buy that? Nobody is going to sell something so refined, so specific. If you walked into Walmart, a giant Walmart store, you're not going to find that. If you go on Amazon, though, Amazon has access to hundreds, literally thousands of people that are selling different items. If you typed in pot in the shape of a treble clef, you will probably find somebody that sells pots in the shape of a treble clef, because there's only a few hundred sold maybe every single year, but those few hundred are made by one company. Pay attention to the long tail, because even though it's a teeny tiny niche, the long tail phenomena really is a matter of you're looking for a niche market. And it really was first created, well, actually, we've always had long tails, but it used to be one of these things of this company over here sells old books. We only sell books that are first edition print back from 1988 all the way to, and people would have this specific niche market. And the only way people would contact them before the internet really was a matter of having to have a phone book. And who did you know that did this, that did this, that did this? Now you can go on the internet and find just about anything. So Chris Anderson really coined the phrase in 2004, but it's always been there, except now the sales volume growth on the niche market or the long tail market is exploding due to the internet. It's a business strategy that allows companies to have significant profits by selling low volumes of hard to find items that many customers, instead of selling only large volumes of a reduced number of popular items, now they can have their niche product become famous on a worldwide basis through the internet, using different platforms like Walmart's online store, the Amazon, multiple different ones, by having that whole aspect of it. This is actually a model of it. It's the ultimate in niche marketing. You'll see in the aspect of influencers, you don't have a lot of volume going up and down, but you have this giant long string of people have an interest that will almost never die. And that's why we call it long tail in the process. It's huge on the retail versus online. If you look at online, you'll see product variety. You can't buy the treble clef flower pot really at the retail store. You can buy it at a retail store located in Poughkeepsie, Iowa, possibly because they happen to carry that one item that only 17 people in the world really want at that moment. And you may be able to find it because of the fact that they have an inventory on it and they can ship it to you in 24 hours if you're willing to pay the appropriate fees. Customization online, it's high. Really, in the retail, it's low. So pay attention to this whole aspect. It's huge. Long tail is like the ultimate in niche marketing. It's often defined innovation in the aspect of being innovative on a small niche. And really, the niche leaders often become the innovation leaders. Now, I included this quote from Elon Musk. Think what you want about him, but he is a great entrepreneur. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you have not innovating enough. He's shown that, especially with SpaceX launching multiple different rockets, that he expected to fail, but every time they failed, they learned a massive amount of information to innovate, and get even better in the process. That is part of the cycle that we call a business cycle, and you two can really benefit a lot in the aspect of niche marketing, but also on innovating and taking a step, one step different from what everybody else is doing. Take care.